Hey there, it's Diane Banks, voice actress and radio personality in Chicago. Please don't forget to subscribe. Check out my other vids too, like Disney Finding Nemo the Musical, 10 cool things you don't know about it. And let's see, in your comments here, Clay Carmichael watched that and said, now I want to see all of those shows. I hear you, me too, a lot of fun. Joseph Schutz, I hope I said that right. Joseph said, did you say Chicago? I live in Chicago. And yes, I did. I do live in Chicago, and I love it, and I hope you do too. Great city, very underrated, wonderful city, amazing amount of things to do here. People who either live here or come visit know that, so come see us if you don't live here. And then my video, 30 Reasons Disneyland is Better Than Disney World. Neo Mendez says Disneyland is better. Okay, let me know what you guys think. Do you have a favorite park? Or whatever other comments you want to share, always great. And of course, please subscribe. We're going to talk about shadowing Disney today from our friends at D23, 10 shadows for Groundhog's Day. I thought this was a cool topic because we don't notice shadows, and they're such an important part of Disney movies and the theme parks and all. But, you know, they're kind of that hidden, I guess they are a little Easter eggy in a way, aren't they? But if we look at Snow White and her shadows here, you know, the idea is creating a bit of menace, and I'll put the link so that if you want to read more about this, but basically they talk about how they made a scale model of the dwarf's cottage and cut out shadow paper figures, put them in the model to study the effects of light and so forth. And there's a lot of other things that they did with shadow in this movie because, you know, their first big motion picture that they did, they learned a lot about shadows and created a lot of cool things. So I'll leave that for you in the comments so that you can take a look later. Okay, let's see, Writing on the Wall. This is from Pinocchio. This is pretty cool. Do you remember this scene? But look at how the shadow creates this feeling of horror and scariness and menace. It says here, you know, obviously it was supposed to be a joke, at least Pinocchio thought it was, until the scene becomes pretty horrifying. And I'll show you real quick how the how that transformed here with the shadow. Yeah, that shadow does make it extra spooky, doesn't it? Ooh, just gonna have nightmares over that one. And then in this scene, too, we get another example of how they use shadows with that big, mean guy. I don't remember his name, but look at that shadow. He's so mean. Oh, that's not nice. But look at, it's just an amazing way they use shadows to tell the story. Isn't that cool, though? It makes you want to watch these movies again and look for shadows. How about all the shadows that are in Peter Pan? And what's cool here is that the shadows have a life of their own, don't they? They have their own little stories. That's what they said here, that they have a merry life all of their own, the shadows, when they were making the movie. And then we saw another example of that here at the top with Peter Pan's shadow. But you know, it's like you don't even think about that, how important shadows are in these movies, like the shady characters. Dr. Is it Facilier? I confess I haven't seen this one. Princess and the Frog, and all of his menacing, spooky sidekicks, which again have lives of their own and personalities going on. It reminded me of Dumbo a little bit and the Pink Elephants, although I don't know if there were shadows so much there. I guess they kind of were. And here's one from the Blue Shadows on Pico's Bill's Trail. Beautiful work there. A classic one from the Walt Disney Archives. Got a few more here for you. How about the dogfight scene? This is pretty cool in Lady and the Tramp because it creates such a sense of menace, doesn't it? I mean, look at how much bigger the dogs look because of their big shadows on the wall. That, of course, when we saw the movie, we really didn't notice it. And then this is cool from the comic books. This is Mickey in his very first comic book. What year was this? Let's see, 1941. And he outwits the Phantom Blot. So here we go. There's the shadow in the first Mickey comic book. And if you are a game player, Epic Mickey, you would have seen a version of the Blot Maybe you know that and you'd like to share more about that in the comments too. How about Sherlock Holmes showing up twice in The Great Mouse Detective? Now this makes me want to go back and watch because I don't really remember much about that. But I guess they used the original voice actor for that too, for Sherlock. And then he's in 2 scenes, so we'll have to look at that and those cool shadows. He looks like somebody that might have been in the Haunted Mansion, doesn't he? Okay, and a couple more here. This is a neat one from Mary Poppins. They said the whole thing with Mary Poppins is that every time she's in a scene, it's a big deal. She's, she's the lead moment, and so they wanted to make her really pop in this scene as well. So you can see her shadow here. Let's see what they said here. Yeah. Well, let's just take a peek. But that's the idea, is that she's always making an entrance. So here's a little bit of that. Let's see. There she is. There's that shadow. And it really does make her entrance, because you know as soon as you see that with the little flower, it's Mary Poppins. Pretty cool. Alright, I think we have one more here before we wrap up. Let's talk about theme parks quick. How about the shadows in the Haunted Mansion? You remember the creepy hand crossing the grandfather clock? That's a great use of shadow. And how about this fella? The Yeti destroying the ride track in Expedition Everest. And they mentioned a couple other quickies here too, like in the Pirates of the Caribbean. How about the pirates invading the village in shadow? Or Mrs. Rabbit looking for her boy when we see a shadow of him. I don't remember that one because I haven't seen that at Disneyland America Sings. But I would love to know in the comments, though, can you think of any shadows? You could just say you have a favorite of the ones we talked about, maybe like this, or have you seen shadows that we didn't talk about? Or maybe now you'll go watch a Disney movie or a TV show or read a book or go to the theme park and find shadows that you can share. I would love to know in the comments any shadows that you might have noticed. I definitely want to go watch some of these movies now, though, and pick up on the shadows. So thanks for watching. As always, leave your great comments and please subscribe. It's Diane Banks. Take care. We'll talk soon.